The title of this week's video might seem strange to you, but you have to admit, it's true. Shalom, my friends. Yes, it is true. You cannot love an ATM machine. Why would I want to talk about that? Well, let me tell you a little story. I had to go to the bank this week, and I needed to speak to someone in the bank. So I took care of the business. When I left, there was a guy in his car parked next to mine. If I opened my car door to get into the car, he wouldn't have room to back out. And if he started to back out, I wouldn't have room to open my door to get into my car. So each of us was telling the other one, you go ahead, no, you go ahead, no, you go ahead, no, you go ahead. And then I forget exactly who left first, but I was later studying with a dear friend of mine, whom I studied Torah on a regular basis. And when I told him the story, I realized that what we were doing, that fellow and I, was a form of love your neighbor. We were showing kindness, understanding, maybe not on the grandest scale ever in the world, that's for sure. But isn't it better that each of us drove away with a smile on our face than any other outcome? So I told this story to my friend. And he said, that's why I don't use the ATM machine if I have a choice. I always go into the bank. I said, I don't understand. What does that have to do with my story? And he said, I can't do love your neighbor with an ATM machine. Wow. Blew me away, but he's so right. And he went on to elaborate a little bit. If I go into the bank, I can wish the teller a nice day. I can tell her a little joke or him, maybe bring a smile or a laugh to the person. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to approach life. That's what I wanted to share with you this week, my friends. There's so many ways in which technology is replacing human beings in our lives. ATMs are only one example. Most stores, larger stores now have self-checkout, that sort of thing. We tend to look at the increasing footprint of technology in our lives, and we look at it primarily from an economic perspective. Is it costing people jobs? That sort of thing. Well, here's another side of the coin. It's costing us opportunities to love our neighbor. And so my message this week, my friends, is to keep that in mind. And when you can, take the opportunity to interact with a fellow human being with the agenda that love your neighbor, drive the interaction. That is something that I think the entire world would benefit from. One thing that I would benefit from is if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to do that, click on my face, which pops up right over there. You can also take a look at the last video I released. That icon will pop up right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.